You are watching TV47 on AI's News Now. We get to inform you what is happening across the 47 counties of the Republic. Thank you for choosing us to inform you. Your time is greatly appreciated. Let's begin with the highlights.
Top on News Now. Raila Odinga attends a rally in Busia as the ODM party marks 20 years. President Ruto hits back at leaders who attended Martha Karua's party launch.
Na jina yake wapatiani, sio William Ruto ama namna gani? Na watafute sera, na watafute mpango, na watafute vision. Otherwise wataungua.
Deputy President Kithure Kindiki meets Mount Kenya leaders as the 2027 politics take shape. 22047 is the short SMS code where you can interact with us. You can also find us across our social media platforms at TV47 News KE on Twitter or X, on Twitter, or TV47 Kenya on Facebook. Let's begin. Transport in Eldoret City was briefly paralyzed as hundreds of striking clinical officers from North Rift region staged a peaceful demonstration. Led by Kenya Clinical Officers National Secretary General George Kibore, the officers marched through the streets of Eldoret holding banners and chanting slogans. Speaking during the protest, Kibore emphasized the officers are on strike to demand the implementation of a collective bargaining agreement (CBA) and a return to work agreement signed with the government last year.
It is an artificial problem that has been created by officers who are leading the Social Health Authority and also the Ministry of Health. Why? And I must be very specific, that when we transitioned last year, October, there were several facilities that were offering services under the National Health Insurance Funds, and they were to be moved to the other side of the Social Health Authority, so that then there will be no disruption of services. But remember, when we come up with the Social Health Authority, we also emphasized that there will be no limit where someone needs to seek services, because we used to complain that the NHF used to regulate which facility you can seek services. But there is everything wrong currently the way it is, and that is what has occasioned, even including the RUPA, those who are owning private facilities, to go on strike. Because then, why do you have officers who cannot function in an hospital? Again, even after forcing that it's only medical officers to see this patient, they are not paying. We have seen the ministry complaining that we are not raising more funds, but we have doubled what we used to contribute. That despite the enormous contribution that we are making, a lot of money that we are making, this money has been regulated to function only in level 4, level 5, and level 6.
To some politics, President William Ruto has dismissed the launch of the People's Liberation Party, PLP, saying it lacks an agenda. Speaking in Taita Taveta, where he launched the Ilasat, Rombo, Njuki and Taveta roads, President Ruto lashed out at leaders who attended the launch for making him the agenda of the launch. President Ruto has challenged the opposition to come up with an agenda and face him come the 2027 elections.
Wengine naona wanajaribu kukutana, sijui wanafanya mkutano, ati wanatengeneza chama. Ile chama wanajaribu kutengeneza, wanaongea masaa 4. William Ruto, 4 hours. Sasa mimi nauliza nyinyi, kwani hii chama walikuwa wanatengeneza ilikuwa ya William Ruto? Ama hiyo chama inaitwa William Ruto? Sasa nyinyi, sera yenu William Ruto, mpango yenu William Ruto, maono yenu William Ruto. Sasa mimi nataka niwaambie wale jamaa na niwatangazia wa Kenya, hawa watu ambao walikuwa wanaongea mambo ya William Ruto, mimi sijawatuma. Hiyo chama wanaongelea hapo si ya William Ruto. So hawa ni matapeli. Watafute chama na jina yake wapatiani, sio William Ruto ama namna gani? Na watafute sera, na watafute mpango, na watafute vision. Otherwise wataungua. Shauri yao. Ama namna gani, my friends? Tuko pamoja? Yes. Mimi nataka niwaulize hawa, please. Bei ya ukabila imeshuka sana. So msijaribu kuuza ukabila, bei ya ukabila iko chini. Tafuteni sera ya kuuliza wananchi, mtuambie mpango yenu mbadala. Sisi barabara ndio hii tunajenga. Yenu mpango yenu ni gani? Yetu affordable housing inasonga mbele. Yenu ni gani? Hapa mambo ya universal health coverage tunaendesha Kenya. Yenu ya mbadala ni gani? Sisi tumepanga ajira ya hawa vijana kwa affordable housing, kwa digital jobs, kwa export of labor, kwa mambo ya manufacturing. Mpango yenu kwa vijana ni gani? Ama mnapanga tu maandamano? Kwani maandamano ni kazi mtu anaweza kufanya alipwe? Hawa watu wanatuhadaa sana.
Away from that, the government is aiming at expanding the social protection program to now ensure that the most vulnerable children across the country receive a cash stipend that will cushion them from vulnerabilities, especially malnutrition.
And assuring us it will continue. Not least, a special mention, of course, to the...
The focus was to launch a report on physical space analysis for a child-sensitive social protection and especially a universal child benefit. The reason why you've done this report is simply to show or indicate or look for options on how best can we fund a universal child benefit. We know the term universal means every child, and such a program would mean every child in Kenya is to receive a cash stipend to be able to cushion them from vulnerabilities. So we were simply launching a report that shows the various options that the country can explore in sustainably financing a universal child benefit for the country. In the report, we have various options that have been laid out and for financing and various considerations for financing. Kisumu, Embu and Kajiado. Number one, we wanted to test and see how would it play in an urban setting, in an urban context. How would a universal child benefit play? Because there are different dynamics across those contexts. Then we picked Kajiado for that. We didn't go for Nairobi because of the complexities.
And I think for us, because we're a child-centered organization, this is critical for us because we want to ensure that children have a better future. So for universal child benefit, I think one of the critical aspects here is that and I think this is something that we've even discussed during the launch today, it's important that children have attained the developmental milestones, and again, they are able to attain what we call the demand side of services.
Nandi Governor Stephen Sang has criticized Health Cabinet Secretary Deborah Barasa and the Principal Secretary of Health Harry Kimutai, accusing them of contributing to the ongoing demonstrations by clinical officers. His remarks comes as the country transitions to the Social Health Authority, a period he says has been marked by disruption in the healthcare services.
Why the CS Deborah Mulongo have decided that they are not going to allow the clinical officers to exercise and participate in provision of healthcare services as expected by the law. And now they are on strike. SHA registration and SHA process has a problem already. The delivery of UHC has a challenge. But there is an artificial challenge that has been created by the PS and the Ministry of Health, the CS, on this particular challenge of clinical officers. And I'm really wondering whether the CS of Health and the PS want to sabotage the president's agenda on UHC. If you want to sabotage the agenda of the president, then resign from those offices and allow other qualified Kenyans who can be able to deliver the service. We cannot have a nationwide strike in the middle of a transition from NHIF to SHA. This is unacceptable, and I am making this appeal. In the course of next week, we as Council of Governors will take it head on with the PS and the CS. We cannot allow you to create additional crisis around the universal healthcare provision.
The Commission for University Education, in conjunction with the DCI, has raided a graduation ceremony for the Northwestern University College at Wild Waters, Mombasa County. Authorities say they have been forced to take the move because the university in question has not been registered under the regulator. The officials arrested graduates too, who were released. Kenyans have been urged to be careful when choosing institutions of higher learning and ensure their colleges of choice are registered.
I want to declare this a crime scene. And anybody in a gown should remain seated until we finish all our process. Am I clear up to that point? Kindly, I'm requesting your cooperation.
Ikiwa tunakupata kwamba unaendesha masomo ambayo yanatoa vyeti mbalimbali, vyeti uzamili, vyeti uzamivu na vyeti vya kila aina, ukijidai kwamba wewe ni chuo kikuu halali, basi ni jukumu letu kuhakikisha kwamba tutakomesha uvujaji huu wa sheria. Na leo tumekuta chuo fulani hapa Mombasa ambacho kilikuwa kimeitisha siku ya mahafali. Watu wengi tu walikuwa wanapata degree za kila aina mpaka PhD, na tumeshirikiana na asasi nyingine za serikali, vyombo vya serikali, na tumeweza kuwakamata wale waliokuwa wanahusika, wale ambao ni waasisi wa hicho chuo ambao wanasema wameshatoa masomo ambayo yanaakisi kupata shahada kama hizo, pamoja na wale waliokuwa wanatunukiwa shahada hizo.
We would appeal to members of the public. If an institution tells you that they can offer you a degree program, go to the Commission website. The Commission website has all the universities that are accredited in this country, and it also has all the programs that are accredited in this country. So just check it out there, and if you don't find it, come to us and say, here is an institution that would like to give us a degree, and we can't find it on your program, we can't find it on your website, we can't find their program, what is their status, and we'll let you know.
Now to the corridors of justice. The Commission on Administrative Justice, through the Office of the Ombudsman, has expressed deep concerns over the judiciary delayed resolutions to complaints and petitions filed against the judicial officers and staff. Over 700 cases of maladministration to the judiciary in the last 5 years, nearly 60% of which remain unsolved, undermining the quest for aggravated Kenyans. The CAJ has requested the Judicial Service Commission and the judiciary to publish and publicize all complaints against the judicial officers handled by both the Office of the Ombudsman and the JSC in accordance with the provision of Article 35 of the Constitution and 55 of Access to Information Act, giving them 20 days to comply.
All the complaints against the judicial officers handled by both the Judiciary Ombudsman and the JSC in accordance with the provisions of Article 35A of the Constitution of Kenya and Section 55 of the Section 5 of the Access to Information Act, giving them 21 days to comply. Regrettably, this has not been done, and the 21 days period has elapsed. Recognizing that the judiciary is the bastion of the rule of law and therefore occupies a central place in the governance system of our country, Kenya.
Elsewhere, residents of Uhuru Estate in Kariobangi South have welcomed a move by the county government of Nairobi to stop their land from being grabbed by a private developer. The residents are, however, still reeling in pain after their houses were demolished by the private developer. Local leaders led by Kariobangi South MCA Robert Mbatia have warned individuals masquerading as private developers from grabbing land.
Nashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa sababu haki imetendeka. Alafu pili, nataka kushukuru gavana wetu Johnson Sakaja, sababu ukweli sio hapa tu amekuwa anasimamilia haki, sababu hapa ni haki imesimama. Kwa hivyo nataka kumshukuru sana na vitengo zake zote, sababu wamesimama na ukweli. Wameenda wakaestablish kuwa hizo documents ambazo zilikuwa zimetumika sio haki, na wenyewe sasa wamekuja wakatoa ile fence ilikuwa imewekwa round, wamekuja, nyinyi wenyewe mmejionea kuwa wamekuja wakaiondoa, na sasa kuanzia saa hii mimi nitaomba ambao walikuwa wameadhirika warudishe mali yao. Hivyo ndivyo tu mimi nataka kuambia.
The Kenya women's national team, Harambee Starlets, landed today at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport after marking